Hello, this is the True Crime Lounge. My name is Breezy, and if you're new here, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And we'll get started with our new episode, today's episode. Now, this one, I try to be as biased as I can, but this one triggers me. Mainly because my question goes to, where was USA Gymnastics? Why would they not doing their job? Why did they have to get an investigator to tell them, you have to report this? I know there's been a lot of rebranding, but with USA Gymnastics, but this case is very triggering for me and bothersome that it's hard for me to be biased on this one. So we're gonna be talking. About Larry Nassar. He was born August 16, 1963, in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Um, and he is best known for the former athletic trainer and doctor who sexually assaulted hundreds of women and girls, many in the world of from the world of gymnastics. So this case is very hard for me, guys. Sorry. Mainly being as a survivor one myself of sexual abuse, it's kind of hard for me to talk about cases like this, but it still angers me when I hear cases like this. But so, who is Larry Nassar? Well, he's a former doctor and athletic trainer who has been convicted of sexual assault and possession of child pornography, with hundreds of women and girls from Olympic gymnasts to daughters of family friends who have accused him of sexual abuse. His crimes include abusing patients under the guise of performing medical treatments. Following a 2016 report by the Indianapolis Star that contained two women's accounts of being assaulted by Nassar. Sorry, guys. More victims have come forward. Though prior investigations into Nassar's actions have been dropped, surprise, surprise, because most cases like this happen, this time he was charged and convicted before he was sentenced in January 2018 following a guilty plea to several sexual assault charges. Before I continue, I'm just going to add a side note. Even the FBI got involved in this and nothing got done until these cases got brought up. So there has to be some reform, especially with sexual abuse cases. But anyway, I'll get more on that later. So, before he was convicted in 2018 following a guilty plea to several sexual assault charges, more than 150 women and girls delivered victim impact statements in court. Go back and watch those because those are very emotional, hard, and triggering for a lot of people. But go back and you can see the effect that this had on them. This testimony, which went down only for 7 days, was seen as a milestone for the hashtag #MeToo movement. So what about his early life and education? Well, not that he really needs to be talked about, but he's on our list for a reason, guys, so I might as well just try to put that part in. So he's better known, Lawrence Gerald Nassar, also known as Larry Nassar, was born August 16, 1963 in Farmington Hills, Michigan. He attended North Farmington High School in Michigan, graduating in 1981 where he majored in kinesiology at the University of Michigan, received a degree in 1985. He enrolled in Michigan State's College of Osteopathic Medicine in 1988 after twice failing biochemistry. He convinced officials to let him switch to a 5-year course of study, in which gave him time to continue working with gymnasts. Why? Why? This case just angers me, guys. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry why this case angers me, because cases like this need to be heard, and people like this need to be brought up for their actions. He graduated from medical school in 1993. So, his career in gymnastics, Nassar began working with the gymnastics team at his high school in 1978. Like, why would you do that? By 1986, he was involved with the U.S. gymnastics team, and he became a national medical coordinator for USA Gymnastics in 1996. The same year he was hand to 10 was on hand same year he was on hand to 10 to Carrie Strong after she vaulted and injured her ankle during the Olympic Games. So in August 1997, Nassar was named as the assistant professor at Michigan State University at its College of Osteopathic Medicine. Nassar also claimed to ingratiate himself with gymnastics. He reportedly took the time to listen to them and could be counted on to provide treatments to girls who weren't getting enough to eat while training. Nassar was part of USA Gymnastics until 2015 when the organization let him go following the report of abuse. After how many reports came forward, they wait till 2015 when it becomes public knowledge. They're doing that to cover them. They did that to cover themselves. Which, ironically, most of them retired after all of this, too, so they've gone radio silent. But anyway, back to the video. Though USA Gymnastics did inform the FBI about the allegations concerning Nassar, they didn't object when Nassar publicly stated he willingly retired. You can see my face how that conveniently happens. Yeah. Nassar still works at Twister's Gymnastics Club and still worked at Twister's Gymnastics Club, Michigan State University after leaving USA Gymnastics. So his victims, this ranges from Ali Raisman to Simone Biles to even a childhood friend, guys. So his victims, he told ailing female gymnasts injuries are common in the sport, and that he could massage their aches and the pains via what he trained them vaginal adjustment. Well, sorry guys. While pelvic floor manipulation could be a legitimate method of treatment, Nassar's approach did not use gloves and never obtained informed consent in utilizing this treatment, even for knee and ankle injuries. Defied accepted practice and served as a way to molest patients. He rubbed their breasts and genitals. Sorry guys, triggering. But it helps to talk about stuff like this too, even though it angers me. And his ungloved fingers to penetrate a patient's vagina or anus. Many of the women and girls Nassar abused accepted his explanation, and he was performing legitimate medical treatments and therefore did not question his behavior. He sometimes assaulted patients with parents or others nearby, which made it difficult for some to believe that the abuse had took place. Nassar had convinced so many people of his good intentions that when accusations against him first came out and he received messages of sympathy and support. Gymnasts recounted assaults by Nassar at his apartment, like who does that? In his office at Michigan State University, at Trister's Gymnastics Club in Michigan, and during gymnastics events, including the Olympics, it is stated that Nassar molested one victim more than 800 times. And I'm not going to name her just for the sake of this video. That's her privacy. That's her right to tell her story on that. So Nassar elevated position in the world of gymnastics, and many gymnasts were reluctant to speak out. Some worried that denouncing Nassar could end their careers. The institutional culture at USA Gymnastics seemed to be more focused on preserving the organization than protecting gymnasts. Yet Nassar's abuse was reported but ignored on multiple occasions. A gymnast shared concerns with her coach in 1997 and was encouraged not to file an official complaint. In 2004, a police report was filed against about Nassar, but he used materials he created to convince an officer he had been providing medical care. So a Title VI investigation at Michigan State in 2014 also did not stop Nassar, and the FBI investigation that began in 2015 dragged on for months, conveniently, and this kept allowing him to abuse an estimated about 40 victims. That scared me, guys. I'm sorry. While it was in process. A Senate probate stated that the FBI failed to pursue the course of action that would have immediately protected the victims of in harm's way. So, former gymnast Rachel Denhollander said that the first woman to publicly identify herself as a victim of Nassar's abuse via the Indianapolis Star. Soon others spoke up, either the police or the public, about the experience with Nassar. Several Olympians, including Aly Raisman, Simone Biles, Michaela Maroney, and Gabby Douglas, have acknowledged that they were subjected to abuse by Nassar. In addition to the gymnast, Nassar assaulted other athletes treated at MSU. He also abused women who began molesting the 6-year-old who come to him for help for regular aches and pains. In 1998, he began molesting the 6-year-old of a family friend. She has stated the abuse continued on nearly weekly basis until she was 12. Though victims who spoke about Nassar were ignored or dismissed, all the opportunity to speak about at his sentencing hearing at Ingham County in January 2018, over the course of 7 days, 156 emotional victim impact statements were shared. MSU, which employed Nassar for years, set up to $500 million fund for his victims. In the years, his crimes became public, and more than 500 people have accused Nassar of abusing him. Alright guys, I had to take a quick break to recompose myself. Cases like that kind of are like a trigger point, like when talking about it more out loud. Like other cases like murder, robbery, cases like that don't really trigger me. But like when I talk about sexual abuse cases like this, kind of is a triggering point to me. But beside the point, I do have a merch shop down below. I have shirts that will be going for survivors of sexual abuse and assault. It is important that we talk about this and we understand it and we educate ourselves. And to know that sometimes everyone handles it differently. Everyone reacts to it differently. We all have different trigger points. But that is it for today's video. I will see y'all next time, and y'all have a great day.